Hi, Scott Orland with CINEMA-Magazin, a brand new TV series called Turn Up Charlie, and we have the star of the show, Idris Elba, with us. I find it fascinating that sometimes actors have to step out of their comfort zones to portray something they've never done before.
Yeah.
So you as a DJ, God, where did you find that for home?
Hard work, man. Hard work. I'm a method actor, so I just learned to DJ to be in the show. No, but this is out of my comfort zone because it's skewed more comedy, and I don't get to do as much comedy as comedic actors. So this was a little bit different for me, but it felt fun, felt good. It felt like a sort of new ground to walk on.
I like that because you were almost even spinning a little bit as you were doing that.
Listen, best of both worlds.
He has an incredible history as a DJ. Talk a little bit about kind of what excites you about when you're behind a turntable, or now, not really turntables anymore, but about controlling the music.
They are called turntables, we still call them decks, but it's the live feel. It's like, an actor being on stage versus on TV. I can make a playlist all day and people can like it, but when you're in the room and you're playing music to 1,000 people and everybody's having a good time, that's a real live connection. That's what I started DJing when I was probably about 13, and it was because my parents loved having house parties, and I was a designated music player, and so I just loved that vibe, and everyone's like, yo, nice tune, and so that's just extended, and now like playing a DJ in a TV show that I sort of co-created is the best of both worlds.
So if you want to get me off my butt and get me grooving.
Yes.
What's a go-to song for you?
Well, Michael Jackson always works, but I play house music, so that's slightly different. But anything from, the funk era always works. So, if you go with sort of Earth, Wind and Fire, you go with Mike Jack, you go with some Luther, everyone normally gets up for that.
Okay, first of all, you're a rock god to me because those are all my favorites. That's perfect. I've been to London numerous times, and what I found fascinating about the show is these little nooks and crannies, especially in the first episode where you take her, I think, to Camden Town.
Yeah.
Doing that. If you had to take an out-of-town guest, to some little quintessential off place in London, what is a secret gem to you?
In London, it would definitely be East London. Exactly where, I'd have to give us a think. But East London at the moment is just like a real it's like one of these areas that's been gentrified and done, actually has come out better. Hackney, where I grew up, it wasn't really much of a place to visit if you were a tourist in London. But now, if you go to London, you have to go to East London for sure. And Hackney and Shoreditch and all those little areas are just like cool, lots of vibes, lots of restaurant, lots of culture. I think that area's got like a real good area. Then there's an area that is called Peckham, right? And Peckham is again, it used to be an area that not many people went to visit, but now it's like really, really buzzing.
You are a father of a daughter.
Yeah.
So what did you relate to in this story about this kind of fish out of water of all of a sudden, I'm sure at some point in your life, you had to do girl things that maybe you weren't adept with?
Yeah, look, the story of Turn Up Charlie is really, based on the parenting, being with my kid, my daughter and I, had our magic years where she would be with dad a lot and, be with her mum separately. So it was me and her doing, daddy-daughter things. And a lot of the writing, when we were really discovering the show, I really input what it's like to sort of be, dad-like with, this little girl who has her own demands and such. And that became sort of like the gem of the show. That started to write itself a little bit based on my experiences as a dad. And, Frankie, who plays the character in the film, she's just great. She's, just at that right age where she's kind of like still a kid, but Frankie especially, she's so smart and so funny. It was nice sort of, improvising with her.
Just a real quick question. As I mentioned to you, I just came back from London where I got to be on the set of Cats. Sadly, you'd already finished filming.
Yeah.
I know you can't go into much detail, but what was that experience like to be part of this giant musical and to be in fur?
Yeah. Well, we weren't in fur. Cats is going to be amazing. I mean, just the scale of the whole production. But I was in a blue screen suit, mocap, so I didn't, there was no real fur, but it was a really good experience. I got to sing, I got to dance a little bit, you know what I mean? I've never done a musical on film, so that was good. It was fun.
Yeah, they'll be saying, "Tune up, Idris."
There you go.
It's always such a
All
pleasure.
right,
Thank you
man.
so much.
See you later,
This is
Scott.
Scott Orland. Until next time.